Doesn't look like much coming. Bunch of fog up there now. It rained all freaking night. Right at 8/10 overnight. So, and looking down here to where the old creek bed hits the creek, which for you will be right over the top of that bale. See if it'll zoom in and show. Yeah, water looks like it's up a little. And that's after knocking some stuff out of the way yesterday. So, yeah, see what the day brings. It's from yesterday. I went to put the pin in that holds the grapple on the excavator, and the grapple bracket and the pin were both a little rusted from setting too long. So the pin was getting a little too tight on the grapple piece. We ended up putting the pin in the other direction to get it in after I ground a bunch of it. But I got an old chunk of water pipe and a short-handled sledge that I use for driving the pins in and out. I had to come up here and get this. That chunk of water pipe wasn't getting it back out when I had it half in. So I still got to clean that up. The end of it's full of grease. That was a good piece of shaft. It still is, just the end's buggered. No big deal. And the wrench has got a little grease on them yet. But what I'm in here for is that this is that float that I took apart a week or two ago. I'm not going to pull it out for you, but I'm going to show you. Float, when it's up, it's supposed to shut off. The inlet in there comes in, there's a little plastic cone that sticks down. And on top of this, about right here, straight up, is a little rubber that's stuck to it. It's got a nubbin on it, so it presses in and stays. I figured it was just the rubber was toast, so I got it apart, turned the rubber to a fresh spot, and it still hasn't sealed. I thought I had two left. I didn't. I only had one. These Rubbermaid floats have held up pretty good. I mean, we've had issues with them. The biggest issue is it's all plastic. So the threads in here are plastic. They're garden hose threads. And the problem with them is they're loose enough to begin with that if something bumps your fitting, it's enough to pop them. And yeah, you can take it apart and put it back together a few times and get it to seal. But there's just not enough thread contact. So what I've ended up doing, I think all of them are this way now. That's JB Weld. I just JB Weld the fitting into it, and then it works. And on that particular tank, it's not a Rubbermaid tanks have a rounded, like you can see here, it's rounded there. And then there's a little raised spot where you're supposed to put the float, because they make a flat spot, and it bolts in with, because I just brought them in here. Oh, look at that, there's a Tanner. Just bolts in with these bolts, screws, whatever you want to call them, fasteners. But that only works on Rubbermaid tanks, so the others we use a self-drilling screw. And anyway, I replaced it. It seems to be working. So now this one, I don't know what to do with it, because I think the plastic piece is scooched, since the rubber turning it didn't seal it. Oh, I may break the fitting out of it and throw the rest in the garbage. To clean catch basins out. You can see it just this side of the bucket. This one's clear full. The little one behind me I already did. The two pipes down there come from it. It was clear full too. Been meaning to do it, just haven't got to it. And oh yeah, introducing the little hoe. I made this in 1991. We're on the skid steer. That's what I had until I got the excavator. Kind of handy. Between this and a dozer, I can do a lot of work. I don't have a dozer no more. That bucket is a grave digger's bucket off a Case, whatever model, backhoe that was meant to attach to this machine. The rest of it, I think I got $75 in the bucket and $100 in everything else.
Can't complain about that. And yes, there is a thumb on it, mechanical, that was an afterthought. And it works really good. I just don't use it very often anymore because I got the excavator. But the excavator can't dig these out. Even if I used the 11-inch bucket, it would still be too much. Can't get into it very well. And this catch basin happens to be an old, I think, 800-gallon concrete septic tank. Came out of the old house that was where Mom and Dad's house is now. Actually, where the garage is. This septic tank was about where the house is now. So, anyway, just a little history.
Nice weather. Well, number one, cleaned up the excavator this morning again, and then she came back and she went over this again. Still see a couple of spots, but it's covered. 2 coats on it. I'm not sure if it's this Sunday we got to haul stairs again or next Sunday, but either way, it's got a couple of days to get cured good before we got to put the mats in and use it. And I don't know, I think a few people might have been a little confused. These floors hold up pretty good if you don't put anything over them and you keep them cleaned out. But where we put the rubber mats in and they stay in, it traps anything underneath it. So, kind of makes things corrode. The creek really went up since yesterday. In fact, it's gone up quite a bit today too. Y'all remember last summer, most of that through there was just a trickle. Not more than a foot and a half wide and 6 inches deep. That spot there in that corner is every bit of probably 4.5, 5 feet deep, and that's about 20 feet across there. Oh, it be a raining. I'm gonna go building hop and show you some more. Building hopped. Yesterday there was a little tiny puddle right there. I mean, it might have been 3 foot in diameter and 1 inch deep. A little bigger than that now. And you know, the rest of that's just a wee bit more than there was. This puddle down here, I mean, that's from almost the gate from the lane over there. And yeah, it does kind of come on around. It goes clear underneath the barn. And today is supposed to be basically nothing. Tomorrow is supposed to be the day all the rain really hits. And for the most part, today's been pretty good till about the last hour. It's been picking up pretty good. They're still talking 4 to 5 inches just tomorrow. So we'll see what we get. I know it's going to be wet. Building jumping. I just thought I'd show you this. Good thing it wasn't raining earlier. Got the ditch recut across here, so all that water goes to the catch basin. Got all the muck stuck out of here that was here from cleaning equipment off. That pile is from both catch basins and cleaning equipment off. Can't go anywhere else with it, so for now it's right there. This is more or less working how it should. I got a little low there, it'll fill back in. Always does. And the other catch basin's got its fence back around it. Keeps dogs from walking into it, keeps people from walking into it. You know. And I still gotta take garbage up tonight. It's Thursday, garbage night. Becky got that's the can from our house, and it's probably completely full with everything else. Mom's last I saw was sitting up in front of her house waiting to go up. Hopefully everything's all picked up. But yeah, that's what we do, deal with water all winter long. Build on a hill so it runs right into it. Oh yeah, I was going to say that when I was out there too. That water trough out there. Let's see if we can zoom in. It is not overflowing. It's right about as full as I like to see them, but it's not overflowing. So that other float is working. Good to see that. I don't have any extras now, but at least I got a good one in there. Yet, only one in there. There's two. Dogs think they're going to work. They're not. They're not in any big hurry. I'm taking advantage of a break, though. They're all crowded inside. They don't want to come out here. No. I just dumped the rain gauge again. It was about 1.25 inches, so last couple days that's 2 inches. And tomorrow is supposed to be the soaker. Well, probably tonight too. So we see what happens. Anyway, that's what's coming. Like I said, I just said take the break. So we finally got a break. So not a whole lot happened today other than cleaning this up, and this is a whole lot better. It's been just mucky through here. Get that layer off the top and get down to gravel again. And once it rains on it, it washes the dirt out, which it already did. Makes it a lot nicer to walk around in. Went up the driveway and recut our water bar up there that hasn't been there for a while, but there was so much coming down, I figured I better stop it before it gets down here. Straighten the end of it up too, since I took the garbage cans up with the skid steer and the buckets on it. Always helps. Got rid of my low spot mud hole here, where we hose our shoes off. And I hope it don't do that all night, especially when it starts raining. So anyway, hope y'all had a good day. Hope y'all have a good tomorrow. And I don't know if I said it earlier or not, but you know, 'tis the day. Flag ain't flying because she's holding onto that piece of pipe really tight. But happy Veterans Day in the US and happy Remembrance Day in Canada. And thank you, veterans all over the world. Even the ones that may not have been on the right side as we see it, they were still doing what they thought was right for their country. So, with that said, thanks for watching, everybody.